You decide to step on the scale and show me the number right after you took a picture because you want your privacy when you're weighing yourself, and for good reason. You're weighing yourself in your birthday suit, and I have no objection to you weighing yourself completely naked, and I also have no objection with not being in the same room while it happens. 4 weeks in a row, you have lost weight. You declared 5 weeks ago that it was over, that you were consistently going to lose weight, no more going in the wrong direction. That's what you told me. We all heard those words, and when I heard them, they sounded authentic, and I got very excited at the prospects. And I'm telling you one thing, you delivered. You delivered week 1 with a 2.2 pound weight loss, week 2 with a 3.1 pound weight loss, week 3 with a 1.7 pound weight loss, week 4 last week with a 0.9 pound weight loss. So the question is, will it continue? That's the question I've been asking myself this entire time. And your streak in the past, if we go back week after week, this is almost 9 months in, you had a 9-week streak of losing weight until we reached a week where you didn't weigh in because of extenuating circumstances. So your streak, your ongoing streak is the first 9 weeks of this entire weight loss journey. You lost weight 9 weeks in a row. So you're at 4 weeks now. The question is it 5? Did you lose weight this last week? And unusually, because normally we're broadcasting from 500 miles apart, you happen to be in my living room and I happen to be in the studio. We're about 20 feet, 30 feet apart. You're waiting for me to reveal what it is that I saw this morning. And it was quite a revelation because you decide to step on the scale and show me the number right after you took a picture because you want your privacy when you're weighing yourself, and for good reason. Okay. Very good reason.
Big on that.
Because you're weighing yourself in your birthday suit, and I have no objection to that. No objection to you weighing yourself completely naked, and I also have no objection with not being in the same room while it happens.
Thank you for
So I was on the other side of the door, and you went ahead and did the weigh-in. And then I heard noises coming from the other side of the room, kind of a reaction as to what was being seen. And I got the sense that it wasn't good. I got the sense that it wasn't as good as you had hoped. And I just waited and waited until you got out. And then you asked me what I thought the weight was. And I gave my prediction. I said I thought it was 324.8, which would have been, you would have achieved your goal. You wanted to be under 325. You were hoping to lose 1.6 pounds or more from 326.5 to 320 to 326 to 326.5 to 324.9 or less. So I said 324.8. I felt confident based on the spirits that I saw you in and how the week went. Just you gave me a little bit of insight. I figured, yeah, I think we're there. And came out, and then you flashed something in my face, and that was the scale, the picture of the scale. And simultaneously, as you showed me the picture, I saw the look on your face, and I was able to actually experience what I was about to see before I ever saw it. Because I saw that, what you're seeing right now, everybody, yeah, that. I got to see that firsthand when this man flipped the camera over, the screen of his phone over to show me what the camera captured. And that's a 321.8 pound body weight, totaling 4.7 pounds weight loss that week. Both of us, let's just make it perfectly clear, both of us were stunned. I mean, I didn't know. I literally didn't know what to do with myself because you got almost a record of this entire almost 9 month journey. First week was 6.5 pounds, the very first week, and I count a good portion of that 6.5 pounds to water weight loss because it was the very first week you had dieted. So you were used to a ton of carbohydrates, and suddenly you had a lot less, and that would cause some water weight reduction in the beginning. So 4.7 pounds is the biggest weight loss other than that you've achieved this entire nearly 9-month journey. So I need you to explain to people what happened this past week to be able to deliver a number so impressive and what kind of impact it has had on you and how you feel going forward. I need to get full insight so that way people can understand, because this is a monumental breakthrough for more than one reason. Yeah, 4.7 pounds of weight was lost. It is a record, almost a record, since week one. It's something you didn't expect to happen. I didn't expect to happen. It's something that is pumping you up like nothing that you've experienced this entire 9 months.
Right.
Following this plan to get you to 245 pounds from 354 pounds. But on top of that, 321.8 is your record for this nearly 9-month journey. Your record low.
Mm-hmm.
You've done it. You busted through that several month period in the middle where you stopped losing weight, gained a little bit back, gained up to 10 pounds of the weight lost back, and then went back down again. So you were stuck there for a while as you were sorting through life's problems, several that were happening at once. And then all of a sudden, you decided, no more. It's done. I'm finished. It's not happening. You declared war on body fat. You did it right here on the podcast, and it ended up that from that day forward, you've lost weight every single week. And this being the biggest week of them all. So this week at 4.7 pounds not only set a record in the amount of weight you lost since week one, but also got you below your prior low. Your prior low was 324, I believe. 324 point something was your prior low, 324.2, and you're at 321.8. So you crushed it. Mm-hmm. You're at the lowest level that you've been in this entire time. So tell me what happened and tell me how you feel.
First of all, I feel incredible. And I can't take credit fully for what happened this week. I'll give everybody the disclaimer. I was hospitalized for 4 full days. And that definitely contributed to the success. At the same time, and I can go into more detail on that in a minute, but that has opened the door to cement the fact that I am all the way locked in on this trajectory, and there's nothing that's going to stop this. I know it. What is this, 5 consecutive weeks?
Yes, 5 consecutive weeks of weight loss. Your record is 9 consecutive weeks.
I'm going to shatter the 9 weeks. I'm calling that right now. I'm going to shatter it. And I feel like I'm going to be able to increase the average weight loss for the duration of this program, for this time to get to the goal that I want to get to. I think I'm going to be speeding the process up from here on out. And it might be partially due to a fluke in my schedule with what happened. I was in the hospital for 4 full days, having extensive testing done to diagnose and properly treat the challenges that have been producing these seizures. And during that time, I was deprived of sleep. I was deprived of things, medicine, and deprived mostly of joyful experience with food. And it served a purpose. It really served a purpose beyond that. Hospital food's less than desirable. I was really trapped. I had nowhere to go. I had to stay in this room for 4 days. Couldn't even leave the room. And I packed a little snack that would take me, through 2 days. I had one single can of potato chips, the Pringles. I had half of it on the first day. I had half of it on the second day, and then I'm left with nothing. And the food was less than amazing. And I was very picky about, what they gave me. I took the protein sources that I could stand. and it really amounted to minimal, intake of food in general. So it helped me control my hunger. I feel like that it gave me a kickstart to really enabling me to be more controlled in the amount of food I take in and the frequency of my meals. I feel like it's just opened the door for something that I wouldn't have naturally probably found. And then, when we were coming back here, I was speculating about what this weight was going to be. And I was hopeful. I was very hopeful that this was going to set some kind of record. I was really, going into the week, I wasn't aware of this schedule change and having the opportunity to get this testing done so soon until after our last video. So it was a pleasant surprise. I got in on standby, and I was, my original prediction of just wanting to break 325 was changed because of the circumstances this week. I wanted more, and I was cautiously optimistic that I might break 324 and then step on this scale today, and it's under 322, and that right there has me at a new level of motivation I haven't even been at even a month ago when I made this declaration that we were all the way in the right direction. I know it in my mind now that it's full speed ahead. It's full speed ahead. I'm locked in. There's nothing going to stop this. And to be able to definitively tell you that's groundbreaking. I've not been here, and it motivates me to do more, to challenge myself, to speed this up. And that's what I want to do. Today, I want to celebrate. I want to have fun, but I want to do it in a controlled manner. I want to have a controlled cheat. I want to cheat. I always look for a cheat. I want a cheat code where I can enjoy myself, but I'm going to control the cheat. Today, we're going to have some fun. You're going to have fun with me, right?
Hold on, back up for a minute. What was that term you just used?
The controlled cheat. I'm going to control my cheat.
Did those two words come out of your mouth at the exact same time?
They did.
In consecutive order?
I know. This is a new thing. I've never heard of this before.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I don't even know.
What do you envision a controlled cheat being?
I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to be very strategic. And I'm going to, anything by comparison to what I've been through this week, anything is a win at this point. Deprived of satisfaction for a week, basically, in the diet department, in the food department. Now anything is a win. Anything that I enjoy is a win. Average meal would be a win. Something that I wouldn't have necessarily looked forward to before, I'm looking forward to. And I feel like the door is open now to limit the amount, but maximize the fun in the cheat meals. And the one meal during the middle of the day I indulge in, I'm looking for new ways to take full advantage of that, and at the same time stay within under 100 carbs a day. Under 100 carbs, middle of the day. It's going to happen. I can tell you right now, it's going to happen, and it's not going to feel like any kind of limitation. I'm not going to be stressing about what I don't get. I'm going to be focused on what I do get and be very satisfied with what that looks like. And that by itself, I'm going to be spending the week with you. I feel like I'm going to be able to focus on more physical activity as well. it's got me super motivated. We're a pound and 1.8 pounds away from breaking 1.9 pounds now from breaking the 320s.
Yes.
In the right direction for the first time in a decade. And it's got to happen, man. I need it to happen. I need it to happen this week. I'm motivated. I'm motivated now more than ever to get this job done. I want to clean that out. 320s, no more. I want it to happen now. And I feel like the dramatic number changed beyond even what I was hoping for today makes me, I feel like I feel like 2 pounds a week is now the new baseline. I feel like I can get 2 pounds to be my baseline expectation and hopefully shoot for more every week moving forward.
Controlled cheat.
Yeah.
What has gotten into you?
I don't know, dude. It's weird.
I've known this man for 30 years. You have to understand where I'm coming from because you don't know him like I know him. He doesn't know himself like I know him.
It's true.
Over 30 years of dealing with him, with this character. Remember, he has a food addiction. He's been obese his entire life, wanting to lose weight, wanting to go on crash fad diets, wanting to minimize the amount of time he has to diet, maximize the time he's gaining the weight back, because it was just yo-yo. It was constantly focus on, let's do something extreme. Let's burn it away quick. I want it done now. Yesterday needs to be finished. And then start eating the way you were eating before, gain it all back and then some, fatter than ever before. Rinse, repeat every single time. It was the same. And of course, I desperately tried to come up with an alternative for him, to try and pace him, but it wasn't happening because he was addicted to the process of getting fat. And unfortunately, he didn't want to get fat, but the process that gets him fat, he was addicted to. He was addicted to the food, he was addicted to having no boundaries. When it comes to food, he was addicted to using food to counteract stress. He was addicted to using food to counteract loneliness. So all of this was happening his entire life. And only because we started on this path 9 months ago to introduce good habits into his life was he able to come up with the right strategy that works for him. In addition to that, throughout this entire period, he conditioned himself to be able to follow certain techniques that he would have never embraced in the past because he implemented them gradually week after week after week to the point where they became part of his lifestyle. And once, the brain notices that something is happening on a regular basis, it becomes a new habit. So you can form bad habits, but you can form good habits. And he has formed good habits throughout this entire time, week by week by week, by practicing and teaching his mind and teaching his body to behave in a different way than it ever has before. And now, 9 months in, look what he's saying to us for the first time ever. Controlled cheat. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to have foods I enjoy, but I'm going to control the amount of them I consume. Never before would this have happened, ever. That 30 years plus that I've known him, never. Control was never a part of his vocabulary. Out of control was something I could use to describe him every single time that we saw each other because food was such a central part of his life. And food still is a central part of his life, but he's using food in conjunction with control to be able and discipline to be able to formulate a strategy that he enjoys. He still has the foods he likes. He still has those foods and he uses them at the proper time, but he limits the quantity of those foods consumed to the point where he's gotten accustomed to it. And like you were saying, Jeff, this past week, being put in a hospital, being served the lowest of the low, not wanting to consume any of it because it wasn't even worth consuming. It put you in a situation against your own will because you were stuck there for 4 days straight to experience what it's like to consume something that you would never do willfully. So by comparison, after that 4 days, if I come out and I'm giving myself 100 grams of carbs, it feels like joy. It feels like such a gift.
It is.
Because you became accustomed to, over that 4-day period, no carbs, no flavor, nothing to look forward to at all. So it almost reset the way you look at food,
Yes,
in a way. But all the groundwork you laid over the past 9 months factored into that, because you've been getting yourself to a point where you're able to accept the idea of controlling the amount that you're consuming, not eliminating the foods you enjoy, but using them strategically to be able to accomplish your goal of getting to 245 pounds. And the first goal is going to be getting under 300. And you're singularly focused now on making that happen. That's become an obsession of yours. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was detecting, based on the way you reacted to this 321.8 and how you started talking about the twos, the 299, the getting under 300, that you are ready to tackle this next 21.9 pounds. You are ready to tackle this with everything that you have in you, because you know full well that, number one, getting under 300 is a huge, huge mental, emotional achievement. It's a milestone for you, because you know you'll never be 300 anything again after that. You're making a commitment to stay under 300. In addition to that, it gets you at the halfway point. Being a 299 gets you halfway to your goal of 245. So coincidentally, those two happen at the same time. You hit 299, you're halfway there. You hit 299, you're out of the threes. And you'll never be in the threes again, which is something that you've committed yourself to, because you don't like being in the threes. And when you're out of the threes, you never want to feel like it's what it's like to be in the threes again.
If at any other time in history, if we hadn't been doing what we're doing right now, I would have gotten out of that situation and I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you helped me get out of there. And I didn't need what I used to need. Nothing like it. Even from a month and a half or 2 months ago, my reaction now is completely different. I'm so excited because I didn't need carbohydrates. I didn't need to pig out. I didn't need what I used to think I needed. And that gives me such confidence. And not only does it give me confidence that this week is going to go well, that the next week's going to go well, but I know when I get where I'm going, it's going to stay. And I can never have ever said that before. I know when we get there, and then maybe there's a little fluctuation between, 5 pounds here or there, but I know it in my heart. Once I get there, I'm never going to blow it. And I didn't have that vision before. Even when, you've done wild things with me in the past where you got me to lose 21 pounds. I remember in 20 days, I lost, and you walked me through that because I guess you wanted to humor me in my ridiculous, immature need to get something done fast. But that was never the frame of mind I was in at that time. Up until now, I would have pissed that away. It would have been gone. Just as quick as I got it off, I put it back on because I didn't have what I have now in the way of experience, in the way of the trial and error, just everything, the experimentation throughout this process to kind of figure out where the limits were on each end, what the boundaries are, to still accomplish what I want to accomplish. And my perspective is so different now. This time has really been put to its best use, and I know there's no turning back. Right now, I'm all the way locked in on progress. I want to continue as quickly as I can to get where I want to go. I'm more determined now than I've ever been at this point in this whole process. I'm more determined now to get where I'm going. And I know in my heart, I'm never going back. I know it. I've never been to that point before mentally, ever. And the mental part is so big. It's so big. This right here was a boost. Granted, it was somewhat artificial, but it's put me within striking distance of breaking the 320s. It's got me in the mindset that I'm close to getting under 300 for the first time in so long. And it's right there. It's right there, and I'm going to go take it. And I know when I even get close, if I'm within 5 or 6 pounds, I'm coming right back to your place, dude. And I'm going to push it out in 1 week. I'm going to get rid of it. I know it. I'm going to go psycho that week, and I'm never going back. It's got to happen. It's going to happen soon.
I think people need to understand that if we go back even a year ago, a year ago, even before we started all this, just go back a year. If you had been in the hospital for 4 days, deprived of food, of any flavor, of anything you could look forward to, you would have come out of that hospital and you would have literally went from one drive-through to the next for as long as you possibly could until you ran out of gas, and would have accumulated as many burgers and fries and shakes that you could possibly consume in order to refill yourself and make up for the past 4 days. You would get 4 days worth of that in 1 day minimum. You would have probably consumed 10,000 plus calories that day, and you would have had no problem doing it the next day. This is what you would have done a year ago. Now, what do? Same thing, same situation, no different. 4 days in the hospital. What do? You come out of that hospital. We meet up. We're together. You go to IHOP. You order an omelet. What do? What does IHOP do?
Try to mock me with carbs.
You want the bread. You want the fries. No to everything. No to anything that has a carb in it, because the next day you're going to weigh in. The weigh-in was so important to you that you didn't want to consume any carb. You had not had anything that would be considered food. You couldn't even classify it as food for 4 days straight. And you came out, and what did you do? You had protein, fat, no carbs for the first meal. We drove for a few hours, went to Chipotle. What do we have? Protein, vegetables, no carbs. That was it. That was nothing else the entire day. Because of the weigh-in was so important to you that we did this morning, that you wanted to make sure that you didn't screw anything up. It wasn't worth it to you. You knew full well that you're not giving up carbs the next day, that today we plan on indulging in more than you would normally have, and then starting tomorrow, doing the 100-gram limit in the middle of the day, and that's it. And the rest, the beginning and end, is going to be protein, fat, high protein, high fat, or high protein, fat, and no carbs for the beginning and end. And then in the middle, you have your 100 grams or less of carbs. 100-gram limit, or less. It's going to be 100-gram limit, barely less, but 100-gram limit of carbs in the middle of the day. We're going to do that every day we're together, with the exception of the day before you weigh in, and with the exception, you don't want that to taint the result in any way. And then the day of the weigh-in, you'll consume some more carbs like we're going to have today. And that's that. That's it. I mean, it's a very simple equation, but the point is, you got out of that hospital, and normally it would have been the emotional Jeff. Mm-hmm. The emotional Jeff runs, not walks, runs for the moment he can grab anything that has a large amount of calories and a large amount of flavor at the same time. We're going to get our hands on that, and we're going to do lots of damage in the process. But that Jeff is long since gone, because this Jeff, the Jeff we've been conditioning now for the past 9 months, he knows that there's a higher good. He knows that his goal is get under 300 pounds, then get to 275, then ultimately get to 245. He knows what the goals are. You know how that's making you feel as you consistently make these new, this 321.8 has made you feel on top of the world. And you were envisioning, as you got out of the hospital, I don't want to screw that number up. No. I don't want that number to be worse because I spent 20 minutes consuming carbs that I don't need, that are going to make me feel really bad about myself when I step on that scale and I see that it's higher. I don't need that feeling. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's short-lived. Those carbs evaporate. The moment I consume them, the flavor's gone. The taste is gone. The excitement's gone. It doesn't take long. But then I have to live with the consequences of that for days upon end. I don't want to do that. That's not something that I'm interested in doing any longer. And that's the kind of lifestyle that you started to live because you have conditioned yourself over a 9-month period to do just that by being consistent every week with weighing yourself, showing up here, talking to me, being honest, and doing whatever is necessary every week to try to move closer to your goal. And you've built new habits as a result of that.
And the thing is, I said, we laughed about it when I did. I said no 3 times in a row. You want toast? You want hash browns?
I couldn't believe it.
What do you want? I said no 3 times in a row. The carbs, everything carb, I said no because of the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even something I would describe as difficult. It wasn't hard. And that's never been the case. Never.
Trust me, it never happened.
And I just, it's so empowering, man. It's so empowering. And the fact that now my perspective is I can look at 100-gram carb allowance. I can trust the fact that if I do that for the majority of the week, I will lose weight if I stay within that boundary. I know I will lose weight. If I add a little exercise to it, that's going to help the cause too. And that 100-gram allowance is generous. I'm good with it. At this point, that I can find things in that 100 grams that's going to make me satisfied. I'm going to be very happy. And again, if this happened before, if this happened even 2 months ago, I don't know what my reaction would have been, but it wouldn't have been this. It would have been, I need to make up for lost time. So foolish, but I would have felt the need to make up for what I didn't have. It's like I don't know what, it's mental weakness. I'm over that. I'm over it. I don't know how this has all happened, but it just one step after another. I know that, you put it well. I mean, every step of the way here has built on itself. And I've got skills, I've got habits that I didn't have before. And it's to the point where I know in my heart and soul, I will never, ever go backwards. I'm going to hit my goal and I'm going to stay where I want to be. And I'm not going to just go back and forth yo-yo. It's not going to be that. I know it. Already I know it. And I'm not even halfway where I want to go. And I can tell you that right now. It's not going to happen. I'm going to get where I want to go and I'm going to stay there. And I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm going to find ways. I'm compulsively in need of fun. I need to have fun. I need to have enjoyment. I need something to look forward to. And I know now I can do it. I can have something to look forward to. I just need to moderate. I need to control my cheat. I need to moderate the amount, but that's not even a sacrifice anymore. I would have viewed it as a sacrifice before, but it's not. It's not a sacrifice. I'm going to fully enjoy what I'm allowed to have that's going to still give me weight loss. And now, seeing that number go down past the threshold I was at before, having gone through the up and down, after getting into the 320s, going back the wrong way for a while, overcoming all that, this was the push that just, it's over the top, man. I'm going to break 320 next week on a short week. This is Saturday.
Mm-hmm. You weigh yourself on Friday.
Friday this week. So I had an extra day to get to where I did this week, right? And this is going to be a shorter week, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get out of the 320s this week. I'm going to get out of the 320s this week forever.
It is an incredible frame of mind that I see you in, and it's only possible because of the time and effort that you put into this. The fact that you've showed up every single week, weighed yourself every single week, and wanted to be part of this conversation every single week. You had a rough patch in the middle, three months or so where the weight plateaued, went back up by about 10 pounds max, and then you caught yourself. You hit 335 and you're like, no, I don't like the trajectory. I started at 354. I'm now back in the mid 330s. I don't like this at all. I was in the 320s. I gained back 10, 11 pounds. I don't like that. It doesn't look like the way it feels. Like you started to feel it because every week you weigh yourself and it hasn't gone down. It's gone up a bit. It starts to have an impact on you. Normally in the past, you wouldn't weigh yourself. You stop weighing yourself. You don't know what the number is. It doesn't matter. There's no impact. I can keep eating anything I want and guilt-free because I don't know how much I weigh.
Just tune it
out. I
can
gain 30 pounds and not even realize it. Yeah. But you continuously weighed yourself because you committed to this. So every week, I know what the number is. Can't make excuses. I know if it goes up, it was my fault. Something happened. I did something wrong. I ate too much food. Whatever the case may be, you can analyze that week and make adjustments. Well, you had a difficult time for a couple 2 to 3 months. There was a job changed and there was the seizures, and all of that happened at once. And that's a lot to take in. But you had never, in this whole 9 months, you had never experienced a situation that would challenge you in the beginning. In the beginning, it was smooth sailing. Mm-hmm. You were losing weight consistently. And then you hit this rough patch and you stopped. And then you gained 10, 11 pounds back. You didn't like that. So you started to bring it down again. And then something flipped 5 weeks ago. When you made that proclamation, that was you had gained 1.2 pounds that week, but you were a different man. You're like, I gained weight this week, but doesn't matter. I don't feel bad. I know what I'm going to lose weight next week. You declared what it was going to be less than a certain weight the following week, and it was. You lost 2.2 pounds that week, that following week, and you said you were going to lose at least 1.5. You lost 2.2. On that next week. And you've been losing ever since. Every week you've lost weight ever since, 5 in a row. That when you made that proclamation, that's the turning point. That's when you got through that hump of weight gain and maintenance, and you got tired of it. You got sick of it. And you got sick of it because you were exposed to that weight every week. You had an opportunity to process everything. And then suddenly something flipped inside of you and said, hold on a minute. The first half of this journey, I was doing great. Every single week I was losing weight. I'm capable of doing this. There's no excuse why I can't do this consistently. I'm not going to let anything stand in my way. And that's exactly what you did. You took over again. 5 weeks in now, you've lost weight every week. And as you just said, you're committed to getting to 299 as quickly as you can and keep that train rolling down the tracks.
I never want to see those threes again. It starts right now. I need to get out of the 20s. I need to get out of the 320s. It's just one step at a time. I've embraced that somehow. Through all this, I've gotten to the point where I could take one goal, one day at a time, win the day, literally just win the day, and string wins together. And the result takes care of itself. And I've never had that mentality. I've always been discouraged by what is so far ahead. The goal is so far out of sight. It's going to take so long to get there. I'm not dwelling on the time. I'm just taking it one day at a time. That day, I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to enjoy myself in the middle of the day. I'm going to be conscious to not do damage during the beginning and the end of the day. I'm going to have fun in the middle. I'm just going to moderate the fun as far as the amount, but I know through all this experience, I need to have something that I really do enjoy. I'd rather have less of something that is awesome than have more of something that isn't. So I'm going to make sure I get the most out of my allotment, that I'm giving myself. But I feel strongly that 100 grams of carbs daily, I'll go easier on the day before the weigh-in, but 100 grams of carbs a day in the middle of the day, I know that's going to work. I know it. And now that I know that, it's happening. It's just happening, man. There's nothing going to stop it. There's nothing going to stop this. I'm getting where I want to go, and it's going to happen faster. I feel like it's going to happen faster from here on out than it's been. The average, I don't know what my weight loss average is over the course of time.
0.8 pounds.
Yeah, I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to
Music to
destroy
my
it, dude.
ears.
I'm done. That's too slow. I'm going to speed it up, and I'm going to have fun doing it.
You're trying to avoid the rubber band effect. And what is that, you might ask? You're going to become extremely strict, void all carbs. I'm not going to eat anything with flavor. I want to lose weight as fast as I can. That's like pulling the rubber band out. The more strict I become, the more I'm going to pull that rubber band out as far as I possibly can. And then what happens when you let go? It's going to snap back. It's going to snap back so hard, and you're going to go in the opposite direction, and you're going to eat everything in sight. And you're going to be fatter than ever. Yeah. That's what happens when people constrict themselves and decide, I'm going to get rid of everything with flavor, with calories. I just want to lose weight as fast as I can. So I'm going to deprive myself of everything that I've enjoyed all these years in order to achieve my weight loss goal. You work against yourself by doing that. The rubber band gets pulled and pulled and pulled, stricter. And then bam, when you're done, what? You let go, and then you gain all that weight back because you go in the complete opposite direction. What you're doing is you're keeping foods you enjoy in the diet. You're just controlling the quantity that you consume and getting accustomed to consuming less of those foods. And then you can have both. You can have results and fun at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And the quantity is not even prohibitive, dude. It's like I can have a good amount of things that I want and look forward to every day. As long as I'm, thoughtful about the timing and just watch the amount, but it's not like I'm suffering when it comes to how much I enjoy, and I can find ways to make every meal enjoyable. I'm gaining skills with, just the more time I put into this, I'm finding new things that satisfy my taste buds and satisfy the requirements I need to live within. And it's just less and less work. And yeah, your rubber band thing. I mean, that's any other time, I get out of the hospital, I'm losing my mind. It's the same thing. Anytime I restrict myself and feel like I'm holding back something, it's like I feel like I have to make up for it. But I'm past that. I'm somehow got past that through all this. And that just clears the picture. I know what's going to happen now. I know that I'm going to continue at a higher rate, losing weight. And I know when I get there to my final destination, it's going to stick. I'm staying there. I'm not going to bounce back. I know this. And I'm motivated. It motivates me more. I want to break 320 this week. In 6 days, I'm going to weigh at least 1.9 pounds less than I do today. It's going to happen. 6 days. I'm making it happen.
Well, brother, I am so proud of everything that I'm seeing right now and everything I've witnessed on our drive back and everything that you're telling me and everything that you're feeling and all the commitment that you've made. I just love being a part of it and seeing it transpire before my very eyes. I'm seeing a change in you that I never thought I would experience. And you, believe me, you can empathize if you switch places with me to know that I'm fully validated in my belief that if you would ask me a year ago, is this guy ever going to be able to burn away all this weight and stay consistent over a long period of time with what's necessary to get him there, I would have no proof to suggest that it would be possible. But you have done it. You have committed yourself. You have shown up every week. You've weighed yourself. You have bared your soul every single week. Good, bad, or ugly, it didn't matter. You were the one to tell us exactly what happened and why. And every week you would recollect yourself and decide, what am I going to do this week to try and make it better? What am I going to do this week to try and make it livable for me? How am I going to make this fun and rewarding at the same time? And you have found that balance. Now, at this point in time, all you're doing is taking everything that you've learned, all the new skills, all that knowledge, and you're implementing it week after week after week. And the more of this that you do, the stronger you become. And I think that you're starting to sense the fact that as you become more consistent with this, the way that you have, you get to certain points where you want to even do more. You even open yourself up to the idea of going a little bit further and to be able to increase the speed of results. You look at the 0.8 pounds and you don't like that. You're like, I can do better than that. And you're looking at it from a totally different perspective now. It's no longer defensive. Oh, I'm going to see like, how much can I get away with and to just prevent weight gain and just to keep the scale moving a little bit. No, now you're looking at what can I do to increase the amount of weight that I'm losing while still enjoying the game plan. And that's the winning formula to success. So I congratulate you for embracing this and for showing up here week after week after week, because it's paying off. The fruits of your labor are 321.8, 32.8 pounds lost since we started this journey. 32.8 pounds. That's a lot of weight, man, that you've burned from your body. And you're about close to a third of the way there. I mean, you're getting there. You are getting to your goal day by day by day. And like you said earlier, and this is something people need to keep in mind, people tend to forget this, it literally is a day-by-day process. You have to focus on the day. You have to focus on what am I going to do today? You can't look far into the future. You can't even look further into the week. What am I going to do today? What am I going to do this meal? What choices am I going to make? You have to ask yourself every single time you eat, every single time you have a meal, you have to ask yourself, how am I going to construct this meal to work in my favor while at the same time balancing my goal of enjoyment? And how can I do this to the best of my ability so that way I achieve both goals? You've been doing this to perfection as of late. And I hope that motivates you more than ever and inspires you and proves to you what you're capable of when you decide to stay consistent with the plan. And the plan is to just show up every single week and weigh yourself and talk about it. And that's what's gotten you here, because it has inspired you little by little each and every week. It's gotten you to the point now where internally you have the motivation that you really do want to move forward faster than ever before.
The more I think about it, I really feel like there was, the 5 weeks ago when I declared, even after a gain of weight, that this was going to turn around. I feel like that's about the time where I did really genuinely embrace the day-to-day as opposed to anything looking forward. And I do have, weekly goals. I feel like I find myself making weekly goals now more. But it's productive. It's not destructive. It's not setting myself up for failure. It's giving me something to shoot for, to work for, that just motivates me. And just winning every day, I know I can't lose. That's the bottom line. If you win every day, I used to say don't do damage, but it's even beyond that. Just be in control. Just be in control. Using my brain. And it's not even gonna be hard. It's not even gonna be hard, man. I know it. I got this.
It's gotten easier with time. It's gotten easier with time because you put in the time. We're pushing 9 months on this, and the fact that 9 months have gone by, just think about that. Week after week after week, this is 35 weeks. You have learned so much because you've been teaching yourself so much during that time. It takes consistent effort to be able to teach your brain how to function in a different way. And 9 months in, you've done it. You have taught your brain some valuable lessons that have gotten you to the point where you're telling me what you're going to do going forward. It's not me telling you anything. It's you telling me how it's going to be, because you're motivated from in here. And that's when you really start to take off in terms of your progress. And I don't know. I really do think the second half of this is going to go a lot faster than the first half of it did. I really do feel that based on what I'm seeing out of you. And I'm just so excited to see what the future holds. And I'm so proud of everything that you've achieved up until now. I really am.
Bless you, brother. It doesn't happen without you, dude. You're helping so much. Weekly reflection, weekly inspection of where I'm at, talking through everything. I mean, it's like every week helps me more figure out the strategy that's going to get me the best result the next week. And I'm going to make this happen, dude. 1.9 pounds gone next week.
I love you, brother. I love the attitude and I love the consistency and I just love being around you. And we're going to enjoy a great week together.
Yeah.
We'll chronicle all of it next week when we get together and let everyone know how it went, how our time together went, and what I observed during our time together. And because we're going to have how all of our meals are going to be consumed together. So I'm going to be able to see this guy's habits one-on-one. And we'll see what happens with the weight a week from now, and we'll just keep pushing forward. So we're gonna have some fun beginning with our first cheat meal.
Yes, sir.
After we're done here. So love you, man,
Love you too.
Can't wait to see you in a couple minutes when I get out of the studio.
Yes. We're gonna have some fun today, and it's gonna be a great week.
Oh yeah, I feel it. All right, man. See you in a bit.
We'll see you.